Scoodly doodly doo, it's time for another Welch review. Scoodly doodly doo doo.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Welch Review. Today we are talking about a fabulous, very little known film known as Slaxx. I forgot to mention that I'm your host, Sam, and this is your host, Stefan.
It's great to see you. We appreciate last week you tuning in to a movie that we made. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
we certainly did making it, and it was a blast seeing it, on the public access channel. So hopefully we'll put more of our stuff out there for you. But anyway, like Sam was saying, we're talking about this film Slaxx that'll scare the pants off you.
That's a horrible joke. I hate that you did that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's cool. It's cool.
So in this movie, you have Romaine, not Romaine Lettuce, but Romaine Denise as Libby. And you might know her from the film My Salinger Year, Slut in a Good Way, and True North, which is a TV show. It sounds like a very interesting background. Then you have Brett Donahue as Craig, and he was in After Camelot, which focuses on the Kennedys dealing with after the assassination of JFK. The Netflix show Bad Blood about the mob in Toronto, and Private Eyes. Then you have Sahar Bihonje. I might have butchered that. I'm so sorry, Sahar.
That's alright.
As Shruti, and she was in The Handmaid's Tale, Coroner, and Shooting the Moon. Then you have Kenny Wong as Lord. He was in the sci-fi film Killer High, about a warthog mascot that murdered people.
So this is like exactly his lane.
It seems that
like
way.
his jam.
He's also in Jack Ryan on Amazon about Tom Clancy's Hero. And he was in the new Bruce Willis remake of Death Wish. You have Tiana Nori as Barb. She was in My Roommate's an Escort, The Lake House Murders, and A Cheerful Christmas. Jessica B. Hill as Hunter, What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show. The movie on the basis of sex about RBG. And Being Human.
Ah, that's a good show.
It's a quality show. Then you have Erica Anderson as Peyton Jules. She was in 11/22/63 about James Franco going back in time to stop Kennedy's assassination. Little Death, and Clarice, which is a spin-off show about Clarice Sterling from Silence of the Lambs. It's on, I think, CBS. You have Hinek Talbot as Gemma. She's in the Titans, Star Trek Discovery, and Ready or Not. You have Stephen Bo Garrett as Harold Lansgrove. He was in American Psycho, It, and The Umbrella Academy. Jonathan Iman as Camilo. He was in Tactic, Transformers 4 Age of Extinction, and Killer Crush. Pritha Mazumdar as Herat, and this was her first role.
Nice.
And Eris Tyros as a cashier, and he was in Bleed With Me, In the Dark, and If a Bird Can't Swim.
Okay.
And then you got Marie-Claude Labrecque as Slaxx, like she is the pants. She is the pants, and she was in the play on Beauty and the Beast called Beastly with the dude from I Am Number 4. It wasn't very good, but Neil Patrick Harris is in it, so that's pretty dope. And then this was written by Patricia Gomez and Elza Kephart, and it was directed by Elza Kephart, and together they worked on Graveyard Alive, In Search of the Lost Continent, and Go Into the Wilderness. And fun fact, Elza Kephart worked on X-Men Apocalypse, Days of Future Past, and The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor as in the art department. An
Cool.
art department clerk. So that's like who's who, where you might have seen them. It seems like they've all had bit roles in larger things, so this might be like their breakout thing for the most part.
Yeah, what's kind of cool is it seems like most of them have a horror background.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is cool. Alright, so just kind of breaking down the plot. Basically, you are at, like, American Eagle that mated with Apple, right?
Yes.
And that is the clothing brand line, right? People are crazy about it. They're like, this is the clothes that I always go for. But they're also stupidly expensive for what you're getting. and it's the same as everybody else, but they always talk about like how they're humane and they only have like pure cotton and no like multi blends or GMOs or like anything like that. Like they're real about like how humane they are with their cottons and how they treat their workers in countries that they underpay them.
In the countries that they underpay.
Exactly. So that's all good and fun. Then we have our main character, Libby, who is basically trying to get a job during like a peak sales time for this company. They're coming out with a new line of clothes, which they do every single month, and she wants to work for them. That way, she can get in on the ground floor. She's really into this company. She wants to be like the Apple. The guy
the CEO
at the Apple,
dude?
No, the guy at the Apple store who tells you about how many gigabytes your laptop has, because nothing else actually matters with an Apple computer, because they don't know what they're talking about. And I hope that I've turned some of you off because you work that job. All right, moving on.
Apple, you've been warned.
Yeah. So she wants to be that. And she quickly realizes that like there's like a lot of hustle and bustle here, right? People are super competitive in this workspace. They're like forced to buy clothes each month from the company without. They do get a discount, but she doesn't, because technically she doesn't start working until later that day. So they're forced to buy super expensive clothes with their paycheck from said company. So the money's very circular. It seems kind of like a rigged system, right?
It's a pyramid scheme.
But again, she's still kind of all about it, even though it's super competitive and obviously wrong.
She drank the Kool-Aid.
Then we hear about some pants. And these pants ain't just any ordinary pants. What these pants do is that they form fit to your body, right? So you got a weird body shape, don't you worry about it. One size fits all. That sucker hops on you, you generate some body heat, and then it molds to your skin.
You're snug as a bug.
Snug as a bug in a rug. So these pants are pretty exciting, right? They're so exciting that the CEO comes out and he's like, we're selling these exciting ass pants here first, right? It's a big deal. It's such a big deal that everybody's pulling an all-nighter to set up the store to sell these pants. And then one lady, she wants to impress the CEO, right? She wants a raise. So for some reason, she decides the best way to do that is to steal a pair of these pants from the back to make her butt look better. But also all of these pants have like a symbol on them that like show that they're these specific pants. So that doesn't make sense. But anyways, she's wearing these pants, looking good, and then she's like, hey, something's weird here. So she goes to the bathroom, and then she can't get the pants off.
We've all been there.
She can't get the pants off. She's just like, okay, maybe they just formed a little tighter than I thought. And then she starts to like feel her body being literally torn in half. And what she finally figures out while she's dying is that these pants are eating her. And that's what this whole movie is about. It's about a pair of pants that starts murdering people. And I can't tell you a whole bunch more because that's kind of the whole twist, right? But you'll see, because this is without doubt the best film I've ever watched about pants murdering people.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of as far as horror movies go, it's a pretty good time. It takes itself very seriously, which I enjoy. I think that's always good, regardless of how silly your premise is. You should always kind of take yourself seriously, because either it'll turn out being really funny or shockingly good. And this fell into the shockingly good category. But yeah, no. Without like, I don't know, I guess going any further, what do you think about the characters? What do you think about the plot? What do you think about the movie?
Well, as a whole, I think like this movie, I think horror in general, right, is seeing kind of a renaissance.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're making good like actually good horror movies. They're making really good campy fun horror movies. You know, it's just a good time for horror, right? I think like the 80s kind of started something, and then they're finishing it now and building it to new levels. Like, this is a premise. Somebody definitely was like, killer pants. The only time I've seen that done was Jimmy Neutron, when those pants were attacking. Yeah. And when we talked about our own thing, Ghost Pants, right? Yeah. So those are the only two things for pants that I have a reference for. And this is the best. And this is the best. So far. So far, you know, so like you said, it takes itself seriously. And it's a real gem. You know what I mean? Even the cover is awesome. It shows these pants like on somebody and they're like, you know, like posing with them, and it's cool, it's fun, it's campy. I think the characters do well. I think Libby really, you know, you mentioned like it's like American Eagle and Apple, right? Those are both two stores at the mall that people are always applying to, right? Yeah. Apple, Hollister, American Eagle, Abercrombie and Fitch when that was the thing, right? Like Is it not a thing? I don't know. Okay. We never shopped there anyway. Yeah, that's true. My point is, it's like those are stores that like supposed to like they could elevate you up into things, right? Yeah. Like it's like only the select few get asked to go there or work there, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's very much jobs that are selective. Well, they're like selective, but then they're also retail, and it's like yeah, it's like there's no shame in retail at all, but it's like chill, Apple. You're selling computers. Or like, hold yourself, Hollister. Like, you're not flying anywhere, right? You ain't special. You're a t-shirt company. Yeah. Just because you got a seagull on it doesn't make you cool. And you make pants with holes in them. And charge $1 bajillion. Yeah. Forrest said pants, just on name brand alone. But, so like, I think the filmmakers do a good job capturing that, right? And then some of the individuals who you may encounter in that world. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I very much enjoyed that. I like the idea how Libby was wide-eyed with wanting to like, they're part of this non-GMO and they do so much stuff that's good for the, you know, the earth, and I want to get in and I want to be a part of that, right? That idea of it being an outsider wanting to be part of something larger, I think can connect to everybody. And she quickly realizes that they're actually just monsters. Yeah, well, I think also like the people like who played some of the various other cats who worked there. Yeah. Everybody's met someone who acts like each of them. Yeah, so like most of the, not all of the cast, but most of the cast acts kind of like really like posh and like high and mighty and like I'm kind of too good for you. And then there are some characters who aren't. I can't remember her name, but the lady who winds up translating all of the Indian Indian writing. She seemed pretty down to earth. She was still kind of like a little bit nose in the air, like, hey, you're new here, I'm better than you. But she wasn't like, oh, I'm so hot, look at me in these pants that just ate my legs, you know? So I liked her a lot. But yeah, I think that the characters kind of seemed like, hey, these guys would definitely work at, you know, Abercrombie or American Eagle. Like, that, it sells that, yeah. You know, it does, and they do a good job, I think, with their setup, right? Like, they bring us into this one place, and then they use that whole area very effectively. Yeah, so like we were saying, they're all, like, locked in to the store. So throughout the entire film, they're, like, stuck inside of the store space. So all of the different set areas that they have, they reuse multiple times because the characters are in, like, you know, one set location. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they frequently redesign each set location. They add, new things to discover, new trials, and maybe not trials. What's a good way to say it? They add like new obstacles to each area. Like, for example, the first time they go into the back room, it's like just a loading place. Another time they find somebody's head. Another time there's like, you know, a pair of man-eating pants. So yeah, they use all of these areas like super, super well. I also think like the special effects on the pants, like itself, like it wasn't cheesy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it looked like, don't get me wrong, it
It's a pair of pants.
It's a pair of pants.
And it walks around and it dances sometimes.
But like you're like, yo, that actually looks like a pair of pants. You don't look at it and just think like, oh, that's like just crappy CG.
Well, what they totally did was they just painted a human green and then had them wear the pants and do the movements.
Oh, that's a dope idea.
Yeah, and then they just CG'd out the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. So again, I really like this. I would recommend picking it up if you have what's it on Shudder? Like the horror.
Is it on Shudder?
Yeah, I think it's on the horror, the official horror channel. But you can pick it up at Walmart or Amazon, eBay, what have you. But like, yeah, if you're in Walmart, you're looking for something spooky. It is Halloween. You're really not feeling pants to begin with, and you're like, this is another reason why I shouldn't wear them.
Yeah,
pick it
pants.
up. You know.
Yeah.
What if they make a sequel called Shorts?
Then we're fucked.
Until next time, this has been the Welch Review.